Testing 1, 2. Test, 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 test. Testing 1, 2. What do we got here? All right, who do we have as spotters? Who's going to spot this one?
Not me.
We have, where's JJ? Disappeared.
What else?
Oh man, come on. All right, we're going to get started. We got Jordan at the back. Okay. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're just about ready to get started with another presentation here this afternoon. My name's Leighton Kerr. I'm with a group called Open Air Campaigners. I just want to say Happy Canada Day to everyone who's here. Happy Canada Day! Yes, you know something? I personally believe that in this world, Canada is the most wonderful country we could ever live in. I love living in Canada. I like the freedom. I like the peace that we know. I like the fact that I come out here this afternoon and talk to you and get to share something from the board like we're doing today. I love doing this. Now, I think you're going to enjoy this message. This message is a message of love. It's a message of peace. It's a message of hope. It's a message of joy. It's a message that changes lives. You say, how do you know that? I know that because this message has changed my life. Now you're going to see some letters coming up here in the background. Hopefully you're going to be able to read them. But this is the title of my message here. We're going to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to need a little bit of audience participation for this message. But I'm going to challenge you with some things I wish I knew. There's some things that I just wish I knew in advance about them, okay, before they happen. Such as, now raise your hand here if you're a handyman. Raise your hand if you swing a hammer at home. Do you do that? Okay, now raise your hand if you swing it well, okay, because I don't know if you've ever done this. I've done this from time to time. You know, it's no fun when this happens. How many of you have ever been nailing something together at home, okay, taking your hammer and going to hit something, but instead of hitting the nail, you wind up hitting your thumb? You ever do that? Now, what would you do if you knew in advance of that, okay, that you were going to hit your thumb? What would you do? Any suggestions? Anybody? Sir, what would you do if you knew you were going to hit your thumb with a hammer? What would you do? Try to miss it. You know something? I have one suggestion. Maybe we could use a lighter hammer. One that's not quite as heavy, right? If we knew in advance, wouldn't it be something? Okay, this gentleman did such a wonderful job here. Where is he? Is he still there? He is. Okay, I got something for you here today. Here you go. This is all yours. Okay, now this happens to be a penny, but you're not gonna believe this. That's a penny with the complete set of the 10 Commandments written on it. You think that's possible? My friend used to say he made it with his teeth, but I didn't believe him. You can have one too. Here you go. Now, here's the thing. Okay, how many of you, if you live in Ottawa, you know about this stuff right here? Okay, you know all about the ice. Now, tell me, have you ever been out on a day in Ottawa and you find yourself slipping on the ice? Raise your hand if that's happened to you. Yeah, it's happened to me, okay? It's happened to me a lot of times where I go out. What would you do if you knew in advance you were going to slip in the ice? What would you do? What would you do if you knew you were going to slip in the ice? You try to avoid it. Yeah, right? We do that, right? We try to go another way. Here we go. This is American money. Apparently it's not worth anything, but there you go. There you go. All right. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If we knew we were going to have one of these, you know, we might very well do something different, wouldn't we? Right? If we knew in advance there are some things we would change. Now I'm going to put another word up on the board. I'm going to challenge you with this word, and I want you to think about it, okay? And I'm hoping that you're going to stay with me here, okay? I'm going somewhere. I'm not selling anything like that, you know? But can you imagine what it would be like, okay, if you could know in advance, okay, about a place called eternity? Imagine in advance. I lost a friend of mine 2 months ago, 37 years old. She died to cancer. You know, the #1 killer in Canada is not heart cancer, heart disease, or anything else. It's death itself. It is a 10 out of 10 success rate, and we're all going to meet it. Wouldn't you want to know in advance about eternity? Don't you want to know? Hey man, if it's possible to know, I want to know. Don't you? Like, think about it, guys. This is something we want to think about. I'm happy to tell you today that I have found someone who wants us to know. He wants to tell us. He wants to tell us himself. He wants us to know for sure about this place. Knowing about this place will change your life. It'll change how you live. It'll change everything. You see, God wants all of us to know. Now, watch this. I'm going to show you a little illustration here. Okay, I've got 3 ropes. We're going to do a little rope trick, okay? Let's have a look. 3 ropes. You'll notice these 3 ropes are 3 different lengths, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to let the length of the rope represent how many wrong things these people have done in their lives, okay? Now, not only what we would say is wrong, but what God himself would say is wrong. What does God call it when we do something wrong? What's it called? Who can tell me? Anybody know? A sin, that's what he calls it. If you're an archer today, you happen to know that in archery, if you completely miss the target, it's called sin. You've just sinned because you've missed the target in archery. I want to tell you, God calls it, when we do something wrong, sin, because we miss his perfect target. Now look at these ropes, 3 different ropes, 3 different lengths. Look at this person. This is a good person. This may represent you today. You may say, me and God, we fine. We're buds. Everything's great. There's no problem. You know, I'm just a good person. This could represent you, maybe. Then there's this person. You know, maybe not as good. Then there's this person. And you might be looking at these ropes and you might be saying, well, I'm the short rope. Or I'm the medium rope. Or I'm the long rope. And you might be looking at them and saying and trying to put yourself into one or the other of these categories. Here's the question. When God looks at these 3 people, considering these 3 ropes, who do you think he's going to let into heaven? Who do you think it's going to be? All of them. He can? He can? Yes, he can. I'll tell you how, though, in a sec. Any other thoughts? You know, most people will say the short rope because this is what they think. They think that God grades on a bell curve, okay? So if you get 0% on one side and you got 100% on the other side, and we happen to hit it at 75%, that God's going to be pleased enough with that. But you know something? The standard is 100%. When God looks at us, he looks at us all the same. I'm not better than you. You know, did Jesus sin? No, he didn't. Thankfully, he didn't. Now, here's what I want to show you. God sees us all the same. All of us are in the same predicament. All of us fall short. All of us miss the target. And you know what that causes? That causes a separation between God and us. But I'm happy to tell you today that there is someone who was perfect. There is someone who was 100% perfect. Okay? That never did anything wrong. And that's the person who came to give his life for you. You might be here today and you might say, why did Jesus have to die? Let me tell you why. Because God has declared that the punishment of sin is death. That's why he died. He died to fulfill the punishment of God for our sins so we might be forgiven. We're talking about eternity. Don't you want to know? And you can know for sure. You see, he gave his life for us so that we might be able to go to this place heaven. He wants everyone there. Listen to this verse. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever would believe in him would not perish, but they would have everlasting life. There was a lady here a while ago, she's not here now. She said she thought everybody should go to heaven. Everybody can. The gate is open to all. The door is open to all. You don't have to do a thing except accept God's gift that he has for you, but you have to accept it on his terms. Jesus died on the cross and he was buried, and 3 days later he rose from the dead. You see, if we don't want anything to do, welcome to the crowd, if we don't want anything to do with God, okay, and he's going to give us what we want, know God forever. Know God forever. And there's a place for that, okay? There's a place for people that don't want God, okay? There's a place. God doesn't want us to go there. He doesn't want anyone to go there, right? Anyone else, sir, in the back?
What place is that?
Sir, would you like one? Doesn't hear me. Anyone else?
What's the
Thank
place
you.
called?
Anyone else? Would you like one, sir?
Heaven.
They're free. Go ahead. Here you go, man.
Sorry, it's for those who do believe in
Thanks
God.
for listening, man. Would you like one?
The
Absolutely
people
free.
who don't want anything to
Here
do
you
with God don't go to heaven, but they go to hell.
Here you go. Here you go, man. Thanks a lot. Anyone else would like one? We'd love to give you one. Thank you.
I go into the ground.